after spending 3 weeks checking fences on my ranch. I couldn't wait to relax at my mountain cabin. The snow had piled up while I was gone, making the drive slower than usual. But as I rounded the final bend, something immediately felt wrong. Smoke drifted from my cabin's chimney. Every porch light was on, and fresh tire tracks cut through the snow. I knew I'd turned everything off before leaving. Someone was definitely inside my house. A black luxury SUV sat beside my front porch like it belonged there. I had never seen the vehicle before. Whoever had parked it certainly wasn't expecting the owner to come home early. Before walking any closer, I quietly checked my security cameras using my phone. The live feed showed someone moving around inside my living room. Then the camera turned just enough for me to recognize her. Before walking any closer, I quietly checked my security cameras using my phone. The live feed showed someone moving around inside my living room. Then the camera turned just enough for me to recognize her. I zoomed in on the camera feed and watched in disbelief. Rebecca wasn't alone. 2 movers were carrying boxes into my guest room while she calmly pointed to where everything should go. She had settled into my cabin like she planned to stay for weeks. Instead of confronting anyone, I stayed by my truck and kept recording everything from my phone. Every camera around the property was saving footage to the cloud. If someone was trespassing, I wanted every second documented before anyone noticed I was home. Then I heard another engine climbing the mountain road. A large delivery truck stopped in front of my cabin, and workers began unloading expensive furniture. Rebecca signed the paperwork without hesitation, as if my address belonged to her. I checked my property records stored on my phone one last time. The deed, tax records, utility bills, and cabin permits all listed only one owner, me. There was no misunderstanding. Someone had made themselves at home without permission. The only road leading away from my cabin crossed a narrow wooden bridge. I slowly parked my truck across the entrance, leaving enough room for emergency vehicles but preventing anyone else from simply driving away. Then I called the sheriff's office and waited calmly for them to arrive. 10 minutes later, a black luxury SUV slowly rolled toward the bridge. Rebecca stepped outside carrying 2 suitcases and confidently walked toward my truck. She smiled as if she expected me to move without asking a single question. "Move your truck," Rebecca demanded. "I have somewhere to be," I calmly replied. The sheriff asked everyone to stay right where they are until they arrive. Her confident smile disappeared instantly. Rebecca insisted she had permission to use the cabin. I politely asked who owned the property. She avoided the question and instead repeated that everything had already been approved. That answer only raised more questions. To avoid any misunderstanding, I showed her the digital property deed on my phone. It listed my name, my mailing address, and every legal record connected to the cabin. Rebecca looked at the screen, but didn't say a word. A few minutes later, 2 sheriff's deputies arrived in a patrol SUV. After checking that everyone was safe, they calmly asked both of us to explain what had happened. Neither deputy made assumptions before hearing both sides. Rebecca spoke first, claiming she'd been invited to stay at the cabin. The lead deputy listened carefully without interrupting. When she finished, he simply asked, "Who invited you?" She mentioned the name of a vacation rental manager. I immediately recognized it. That company had stopped managing my cabin almost 2 years earlier after our contract ended. The deputies made a note of the timeline. I logged into my security system and showed the deputies weeks of camera footage. Every recording confirmed the cabin had been empty until Rebecca arrived the previous evening. The timestamps matched perfectly. One deputy compared the recorded arrival time with the electronic gate log at the entrance to my property. The 2 systems matched exactly. Every piece of information pointed to the same timeline. After reviewing the documents and footage, the lead deputy thanked both of us for cooperating. Then he politely explained that they would continue verifying the information before anyone removed personal belongings from the cabin. Rebecca looked toward the front porch, realizing the situation wasn't as simple as she'd expected. The deputies asked everyone to remain outside while they inspected the cabin. I unlocked the front door with my original key, and the deadbolt turned smoothly. One deputy quietly noted that there were no signs of forced entry anywhere on the property. Inside the living room, everything looked strangely organized. Fresh groceries filled my refrigerator. Expensive luggage sat beside the fireplace, and neatly folded clothes occupied my guest bedroom. It looked less like a vacation, and more like someone planned to stay for a long time. One deputy opened a notebook and began listing everything in plain view. Every item was photographed exactly where it sat before anyone touched it. The investigation stayed calm, organized, and professional from start to finish. While checking the kitchen, the deputy noticed several delivery receipts on the counter. Every receipt listed my cabin's address, but none of them included my name. That detail immediately caught everyone's attention. Rebecca explained that she believed the cabin had been listed as an available vacation rental through a third-party booking service. The deputies carefully wrote down the company name and said they would verify the reservation records before reaching any conclusions. The deputies contacted the booking company while we waited. After several minutes, they confirmed the listing had already been removed months earlier. Somehow, an outdated advertisement had continued circulating online. The conversation shifted from confrontation to confusion. It appeared that inaccurate online information may have played a role in the misunderstanding. The deputies continued gathering facts before making any final decisions. I showed the deputies emails confirming that my cabin had been removed from every rental platform nearly 2 years earlier. They compared those records with the booking information Rebecca had received and immediately noticed the dates didn't match.